Hey guys, okay, so I've filmed this so many times that I'm actually starting to lose my voice and my camera battery, and I'm gonna apologize anyway because I sound awful because my nose is stuffy. I don't know why I woke up feeling this way, but it was kind of gross. But anyway, this is gonna be my November wrap-up. It is not that big of a wrap-up, but I've filmed this a few times and I just keep rambling because I loved the two books that I read so much. I also read another half a book that I'll talk about, and there's also going to be an update at the end of the video. But yeah, let's get started. The first book that I completed was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. I loved this book so much. I have known about it for quite a while, but I didn't really start to seriously want to read it until I got into reading fantasy. I know that this is sci-fi, but I feel like, not necessarily that they go hand in hand, but, that if you enjoy fantasy, you might also enjoy sci-fi. So I decided to try these, especially, because, a friend and another acquaintance were really, like, saying, you need to read this, you would like it. So I picked up all 5 of these, and, I was gonna have a month where I just marathoned all of them, like, maybe next year, but then I found, the Stephen Fry audiobook on YouTube, and I decided to listen to that and follow along in here, and it was fantastic. I love this book. I love Arthur Dent's character, I love Ford Prefect, I love Trillian. I think the spaceship computer is hilarious. I really enjoyed Marvin's part as well because he's pretty funny, but sometimes he was so depressed that I was like, oh man, Marvin, come on. Gotta see a little bit of the bright side, man. Little bit. But no. And even, like, I feel like other people being bothered by his depression made him more depressed because he was always like, oh, you hate me. And it was just so sad. But yeah, so I really loved all those characters. I ended up liking Zaphod at the end of the book, or at least ended up, being able to tolerate him, but for the first 3/4 of this book, he just pissed me off. Like, I was like, who deals with this kind of dude? Like, you just want to punch him in both his faces. Like, ah. And if you have read this, you understand why I said both faces, because he technically has 2 faces. But yeah, he kind of bothered me a lot. But anyway, and I just really loved Stephen Fry's, narration of it, because his voice when he, was the spaceship computer was brilliant. It was so, I mean, Stephen Fry is a genius, so I would expect nothing less from him, but it was fantastic and amazing, and I loved it. So yes, definitely, like, 4 out of 5 stars. I mean, not 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5 stars. I loved this book so much, and I'm excited to get to the next one and also listen to that audiobook because Martin Freeman narrates it, and it is also available on YouTube. So I will be doing that kind of soon, probably like January or something. But yes, this was amazing. And also I started watching the film, and I really loved Martin Freeman's, portrayal of Arthur Dent, and I loved Mos Def's portrayal of Ford Prefect and Zooey Deschanel as Trillian. All great. I did not really like Sam Rockwell as Zaphod, but I think that's my combination of disliking Sam Rockwell as an actor in general, and also the fact that for the first 75% of the book, Zaphod really gets on my nerves. So those two combinations made me not really like his portrayal very much, but also I only got an hour into the movie before I had to turn it off because they make so many changes. Like, they're fine for, like, the first half an hour, and then within, like, 10 minutes, they make all of these, like, plot twists around and stuff, and I was like, guys, come on. And so I had to turn it off, and I am planning on going back to it, but I just feel like you can't read the book and then immediately go to watch the movie, because you will see all the differences that bother you. And I didn't even get to the ending, and my friend Ben said that the ending was what bothered him because it was so different from the ending of the book. So I was like, okay. But he did tell me that I do need to go back and finish it at some point, because I did not get to Bill Nighy's performance in it. He plays this really funny character whose name I am temporarily forgetting. It's like one word and it's really funny, but I forget his name. But anyway, he was a character that I quite enjoyed, so I do need to go back and watch Bill Nighy's portrayal of that character. So yeah, I don't know when I'm going to get to that. Soon-ish. And then, anyway, the next book that I got to was The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I am so proud of myself for finishing this book, because it took me 3 tries in 3 years to finally get through this book. I loved it, but it just took me that long. I got this in October of 2012, and I tried to read it before Unexpected Journey came out, and I only got 100 pages in, and then Unexpected Journey came out before I got any further, and I justified going to see it by saying, oh, they're splitting this movie into 3 parts, which means that if I'm 100 pages in, most of what I have read is going to be in that movie. And they can't go much further beyond 100 pages. I think they went like 120 pages into the book, so there was some that I didn't get to that I was surprised by at the end, but that's totally okay. And then with Desolation of Smaug, I have no excuse, because I did the same thing where I tried to read it again, and I started over and got 100 pages in, and then Desolation of Smaug came out, and I was like, nope, I'm seeing it. So that one, I didn't even have a justification, because I hadn't even gotten any further in the book. And then this year, I was like, no, I will finish this before the 3rd installment comes out, because I really didn't want to spoil the ending for myself with the film instead of the book. So I did finish it, and something that helped me was I listened to the audiobook on YouTube. I have this thing for audiobooks recently. I don't even know what it is, but I love it. And it was Rob Inglis doing the audio, and his narration was really good. I really enjoyed his Gandalf voice. I thought it was great. The only thing that I had a little bit of trouble with was the songs, because, I mean, his trying to sing them was very good, but I'd heard, since I had already seen the first film, I had already heard the actors singing the songs and the movie tunes for them, and they were just so amazing that no audio narration could really surpass them. Like, anything was going to be below that, basically. So that was a little difficult, but aside from that, I thought his narration was really well done. The only other surprise I kind of got was that some of the voices that he did were not how I thought the character should sound, but, you know, that's just personal preference. So yeah, the audiobook was pretty good. I would give it, like 3.5 or 4 out of 5 stars. But this book, I loved it. I loved Bilbo, I loved Fili, Kili, Thorin, Balin, Gandalf, obviously. I really like Bard, as well, but I think I like him better in the movie than I do in the book. But that's because the guy in the movie who plays him is very cute. But yeah, I got to the end, and some things made me incredibly sad. I'm not going to say what those things are, but I will say that I don't think I'm going to make it through Battle of the Five Armies without crying. Crying a lot, I think. But it was still such a good book. I loved it so much. Okay, and the tabs, I know that they are only, if you can notice, they're only at the beginning, but the reason, it's not that I didn't like the rest of the book. I loved the rest of the book, but the rest of the book, after these tabs, kind of gets sadder as you go along, or not sadder, but it gets way more serious. And so, yeah, it was kind of, I know this is going to sound cheesy, but I really like the happy songs and like the funny parts at the beginning. So that's why those parts are tabbed and the rest of the book is not, but it doesn't mean that I didn't love the rest of the book. I did. And I'm just really excited now to get to Lord of the Rings. I don't currently have Lord of the Rings with me, because I did get little dollar copies at the Salvation Army, but they were falling apart so badly before I even read them that I was like, I can't, if I read these once, they're gonna fall apart. So, I got rid of those, and my friend Ben got me a box set of Hobbit and the 3 Lord of the Rings books, and I'm really excited for next time I see him, so I can get that, and I can just dive right into Lord of the Rings, because I'm hoping that I'm really gonna love those, especially because I really love the movies. So, yeah, I'm just really excited about that, and I adored this book. And then the last thing that I got halfway through that is going to end up being in my December wrap-up is, I don't know if you can see that, but it's Hercule Poirot's Christmas. This did have a cover on it, but I have taken it off while I was reading it because it was really annoying me. I love the TV show of Poirot and the TV show of Marple, Agatha Christie's other detective, and I really enjoyed reading the Marple short story collection that I have lent to my grandmother. So I really felt like reading a mystery, and I also felt like reading something Christmassy, and so I picked this up, and I'm really enjoying it so far. This is also one of the TV films that I know the best, because I've seen it, I've watched it every Christmas, for, well, maybe just like 2 or 3 times, but it's definitely one of the TV films that I know the best. And I'm really enjoying the book so far. I am probably a third of the way through, probably like 80-something pages in, and I will be finishing this hopefully today. So technically I will be finishing this in November because it's November 30th, but since I'm filming this video now, I'll tell you guys about this in my December wrap-up. I think that's it, you guys. I was going to do an update at the end of this, but I think I'll just make another video about that update because this video is already 13 minutes long. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry this wrap-up was so long, but I just loved what I read this month. So, yep. Please tell me what you read this month. Please tell me if you enjoyed it. Please tell me what you thought of any of these books. And thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.